Hello, this is Biz Big Picture, connecting the dots to deliver you the big picture. Far away in the sky, a passenger aircraft cuts through the clouds. It's no exaggeration to say that one of those planes was made by this company, Boeing. There was a time when the phrase, "If it's not Boeing, I'm not going," was popular among flight crews, reflecting the trust the brand enjoyed. Yes, there was such a time. But what's going on? A Boeing plane crashed in 2018, followed by another one the next year, and in 2024, a series of quality issues arose. On top of that, the union went on strike for about 2 months, starting in September 2024. As of November 2024, layoff notices are being sequentially delivered to approximately 10% of the company's employees. For the time being, it seems inevitable that things will remain unsettled within Boeing. In this video, we took a closer look at Boeing's issues. The company's history offers clues to understanding these problems. William Boeing founded the Greenwood Timber Company in 1908. After attending an air show in LA in 1909, he was deeply impressed and subsequently established Aero Products in 1916, the predecessor of Boeing. The United States entered World War I in 1917 and World War II in 1941. During these times, Boeing grew significantly by supplying military aircraft to the U.S. government. In 1919, Boeing founded Boeing Air Transport and entered the airline industry. However, due to increased antitrust regulations, the company was forced to sell its airline operations in 1934, which eventually became United Airlines. Boeing had a limited presence in the passenger aircraft market. However, in 1958, the Boeing 707 changed the game. Prior to the Boeing 707, passenger planes were propeller-driven, with Douglas's DC-3 being a dominant model. The Boeing 707 was revolutionary. It was equipped with jet engines, which increased its speed, and it used aluminum alloys to reduce weight. Additionally, the introduction of a pressurized cabin allowed passengers to fly comfortably at higher altitudes. As a result, demand for the Boeing 707 in the market surged. Meanwhile, in 1967, McDonnell and Douglas merged to form McDonnell Douglas. McDonnell was focused on military aircraft and missiles, but was struggling due to reduced defense budgets and delays in developing new models. On the other hand, Douglas had been losing ground to Boeing and was facing difficulties. The two companies joined forces through a merger. However, the DC-10 passenger aircraft, released in 1970, experienced a high frequency of accidents, leading McDonnell Douglas into difficulty. The corporate culture is pointed out to be one of the main reasons for the frequent accidents of the DC-10. It prioritized profitability, such as meeting deadlines and reducing costs, over quality. In 1997, Boeing acquired McDonnell Douglas. Through this acquisition, products like the F-15 and Super Hornet were added to Boeing's product line. However, did McDonnell Douglas's corporate culture also merge into Boeing's? In 2005, Boeing sold its fuselage manufacturing division and shifted its focus to design and assembly. By selling off aging facilities, it may have been the optimal decision from a profitability standpoint, allowing for outsourcing of non-core operations. This decision weakened Boeing's ability to manage product quality, and it is considered one of the causes of the quality issues that emerged in 2024. Now, before moving on to the issues, let's go over some basic knowledge related to aircraft. Knowing how aircraft are named can help you pick flights and make this video easier to understand. Let's take a look at the Boeing 737-800ER. The first digit 7 represents a jet aircraft. The second digit 3 indicates that it's the third model in the jet series, and the 7 that follows is added for branding purposes. With 2 7s, it somehow gives the feeling that luck will be on our side for this trip. The 8 refers to the 8th variant in the 737 model series. Finally, the 00 may represent a customer code. ER stands for extended range, meaning the aircraft has been modified to fly longer distances. Other abbreviations such as LR and SR are also used. The Boeing 737 MAX 8, which has been involved in aviation accidents, is the next variant after the 737-900. Let's take a look at Airbus's A320-251N. The initial 3 is a number arbitrarily assigned by Airbus. It's rumored that the 3 represents the company's intention to accommodate 300 passengers, but in any case, it's a number with a pleasant ring, much like 7. The 20 indicates that it's a series developed after the 10. The 251N is a code representing the engine manufacturer and specifications, which doesn't hold much significance for us. In the A320 family, the shorter version is called the A319, and the longer version is called the A321. Passenger aircraft can be categorized based on several criteria, but it's useful to know the characteristics that are easily distinguishable by their outward appearance. First, let's take a look at the number of engines. It's safe to assume that most jet passenger aircraft have 2 engines. However, the Boeing 747 and Airbus A380, which are double-decker super jumbo aircraft, have 4 engines, and there are some exceptions, such as early models. It's also helpful to know the terminology for the number of seating aisles. Long-haul models are designed with 2 aisles, and these are called wide-body aircraft. Short to medium-range models are designed with 1 aisle, and these are called narrow-body aircraft. Among the passenger aircraft Boeing currently produces, only the 737 series is narrow-body, while the rest of the models are wide-body. After World War II, when demand for air travel surged, Boeing launched its first jet airliner, the B-707, in 1958. Following this, Boeing released various versions of aircraft for different purposes. The key factors driving the release of the next generation of models were expanded distance coverage, increased passenger capacity, and improved fuel efficiency. Airbus entered the passenger aircraft market in 1974 with the A300 and has since competed with Boeing's aircraft across various segments. In the case of Boeing, sales have fluctuated in response to economic cycles. The effects of the oil crises, the 9/11 attacks, and the COVID-19 pandemic have been directly reflected in aircraft sales figures. The decline in sales in the early 1990s was due to Airbus's market encroachment. On the other hand, while Airbus's sales figures have experienced some fluctuations, they have generally shown a steady upward trend. Then, in 2003, Airbus's sales volume first caught up with Boeing. From 2003 to 2018, Boeing and Airbus engaged in a fierce back-and-forth competition. However, after the 737 MAX 8 crash in 2018, Boeing's sales were completely overtaken by Airbus. Let's also take a look at new orders. After the 737 MAX 8 crash, it seems that new orders shifted from Boeing to Airbus. Why did the 737 accidents occur, and how did they disrupt the competitive landscape between Boeing and Airbus? Even before the Boeing 737 MAX 8 accidents, safety incidents had occurred from time to time. However, many of these were due to pilot error, maintenance mistakes, or air traffic control failures, and cases where the aircraft manufacturer was primarily responsible were rare. While manufacturing defects played a role in the 2001 and 2009 Airbus accidents, pilot mistakes and other contributing factors were also significant. However, the 2018 and 2019 Boeing crashes revealed that manufacturer fault was the dominant cause, leading to a significant shock for Boeing. The B737 and A320 are competing in the short to medium-range single-aisle aircraft market, and both are the best-selling models for their respective companies. In 2016, Airbus released the A320neo, significantly improving its fuel efficiency. In response, Boeing introduced the 737 MAX 8 in 2017, which was equipped with new engines. However, the engine power was so strong relative to the size of the aircraft, it increased lift, causing the nose, or the front of the plane, to tilt upward. To address this, the aircraft was equipped with a system that would automatically lower the nose under certain conditions, called MCAS. But a malfunction in the MCAS system led to 2 fatal crashes of the aircraft. Furthermore, it was revealed that Boeing's management was aware of the potential for accidents, but failed to take appropriate action, leading to a decline in trust towards Boeing. After the second crash of the Boeing 737 MAX in 2019, the Aviation Authority imposed a grounding order on the 737 MAX models. Following corrective measures, the 737 MAX was allowed to resume operations at the end of 2020. It seemed calm for a while, but in January 2024, a Boeing 737 MAX 9 experienced an incident during flight when an auxiliary door detached mid-air. Subsequently, the FAA initiated production controls on the Boeing 737. Even after this, numerous safety incidents, both large and small, continued to occur across Boeing aircraft, leading to a further decline in trust toward the company. As the company's crisis continued, Boeing's union initiated a strike in September 2024, with approximately 20% of the workforce participating, further deepening the financial crisis. The strike lasted for about 2 months. The pay raise plan was revised from an initial 25% to 38% over a 4-year period, so at first glance, it seems the union aimed for a pay raise and achieved its goal. However, in October 2024, while the strike was still ongoing, Boeing announced plans to reduce its workforce by 10%. Despite this, the union decided to end the strike. As of November 2024, termination notices are being delivered in stages. In 2020, Boeing implemented large-scale layoffs due to poor performance caused by the pandemic and aviation accidents. Initially, a 20% reduction plan was proposed, but the actual scale of the layoffs remains unclear. At this point, it becomes ambiguous. Which came first, the layoffs or the accidents, and which is the cause, and which is the result? There must have been other reasons why the union went ahead with the strike despite the company's crisis. However, the details of what those reasons were and how they were addressed during the labor negotiations have not been thoroughly confirmed. Boeing's revenue reached approximately $100 billion in 2018. However, following quality issues and the COVID-19 pandemic, revenue declined and losses have continued. After the auxiliary door detachment incident in January 2024, the FAA began controlling the production volume of the 737 MAX. Credit ratings also dropped. The credit rating, which was A at the end of 2019, gradually decreased to BBB- in 2020 and has remained at that level. It's unusual. Despite incurring significant losses for over 5 years and having negative equity equal to 17% of its assets as of the end of September 2024, the company still holds an investment-grade rating. Despite the losses, Boeing has maintained its investment-grade rating thanks to its order backlog. It is based on the belief that airline companies won't cancel their orders with Boeing, as Airbus also has several years' worth of orders lined up. Boeing's commercial aircraft order backlog grew from a 7-year supply in 2018 to a 15-year supply in 2023, while Airbus has a 10-year supply. Although the two companies' order backlogs appear similar, this is an illusion created by Boeing's slower production. However, in October 2024, credit rating agencies issued warnings about a potential downgrade of Boeing's credit rating. In response, Boeing initiated a large-scale fundraising effort at the end of October 2024, successfully raising approximately $24 billion. While it remains to be seen how much of this funding will be classified as equity on the financial statements, Boeing has at least managed to put out the immediate fire. The aircraft industry has high entry barriers, but there may never be a better time for new competitors to enter than now. It is reported that Brazil's Embraer is considering seizing this opportunity. Embraer, the third largest company in the passenger aircraft market, manufactures regional aircraft with fewer than 150 seats. Embraer has expressed its intention to develop a competing model to the Boeing 737 MAX should it secure market demand. Founded in 2008, China's aircraft manufacturer COMAC has already launched the C919, a single-aisle aircraft that competes with the Boeing 737 MAX in May 2024. They also plan to release the C929, a double-aisle aircraft competing with the Boeing 787 in 2027. Boeing has estimated that China's new aircraft demand will reach 8,830 units over the next 20 years, or an average of 440 units per year, which is roughly equivalent to Boeing's 2023 annual delivery units. Currently, COMAC aircraft cannot be used on international routes, as they have not received international certifications such as from the FAA. However, even if C919 targets only the domestic Chinese market, it is expected to have substantial market demand. Furthermore, if it obtains international certifications from the FAA and other regulatory bodies, it could potentially become a game changer in the aircraft market. The potential for new competitors to emerge signifies that the market may not be willing to wait indefinitely for Boeing's management to stabilize. Of course, Boeing's journey to restore market trust and normalize production does not seem easy. Boeing needs to complete its workforce restructuring and, by 2025, repurchase Spirit AeroSystems, the fuselage manufacturer it sold in 2005, in order to restore the production flow. To normalize the production of the 737 MAX, Boeing must also prove to the regulator that its production and quality control systems are flawless. We'll keep an eye on Boeing as it works to overcome the crisis and regain its former glory. This big picture.